Hello and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. My name is Adam. I'm the community manager of Franchise Hockey. With me, as always, and not pictured on your screen unless he's turned into a whale, is FHM producer Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hey, everybody.
And we are back with the good, the bad, and the ugly. Vancouver Canucks 2022 off-season spectacular. Jeff, so you simmed up after the trade
Yeah,
deadline
I guess I
because we
should
weren't
just
making
take
the
us back to
playoffs.
the transaction list, and you can see what we did in the lead up to this. I didn't bother. Figured we wouldn't bother showing the last 30 games or so of the season on stream, since it was pretty much a foregone conclusion that we weren't going to the playoffs, and it's going to be kind of boring watching that. So what we've done is gone ahead to July 1st. But let me just show you what we've done since then. You can see all the moves we made at the trading deadline. Basically got rid of the Tyler Myers contract, and then used one of the picks we got from that. Or no, yeah, that's what we did. We got Gonzalez from Tampa Bay, then traded him to Minnesota for a second rounder, and you packaged that second rounder, and JT Miller to get Jamie Drysdale out of Anaheim, which I think is a reasonably good move for us. Helps shore up the defense a little bit, gives us another good young defenseman. The rest of the regular season, nothing too exciting there. I did get kind of lucky right at the end of the year. Florida decided they want to try to sign one to see if they could get Yaroslav Halak under contract as a backup. So they gave me Max Gilden, who's, not a huge prospect, 23 years old, and he's only played a dozen games in the NHL. But it's something. It's more than I would have gotten for him. And then Halak wound up retiring anyhow in the off season. A
Decided you
couple of
want to
days
play in
later.
Florida that bad, huh?
Yep. So we basically got Gilden for free. So it's an asset. Gives us a little more defensive depth. Uh,
Sure. Now, I posted some screenshots of what happened at the end of last season, but who won the Stanley Cup, Jeff?
yeah, as you can see there, the defending Stanley Cup champion is the Edmonton Oilers.
Well, that seems unlikely in real life given the current circumstances of the Oilers. But
That's how the playoffs went. There's the tree. Your Jets had managed to take the Oilers to 7 games in the Western Finals,
of
as
course,
did the Rangers went 7 with the Lightning. But then somehow in the final, the Oilers wound up sweeping Tampa. And I don't think any other major upsets in there. Well, Pittsburgh over Carolina, I guess that's one. But other than that, and the Rangers beat Pittsburgh in the second round. So not surprisingly, didn't win any awards last year. But basically, where we are right now, it's July 1st, free agent day. We've let a few guys go. Just taking stock of our roster right now. This is, I'm not including Quinn
pretty
Hughes in the
bad.
planning at the moment because he's off for 2 to 3 months still. So debatable whether or not he's going to be back by the beginning of the regular season. And that's right now. That's theoretically, if we don't sign anybody, that's the lineup we're going to be going with at the start of the regular season. You can see Jet Wu is up from Abbotsford. I don't think I've got anybody amongst the forwards. Phil DiGiuseppe, who has actually been having a pretty good season for them in real life this year. I wound up calling up towards the end of the regular season, and he had 7 points in 10 games for us. So not bad, and he actually made it up to 2 stars at 28 years old. He's not going to get any better than that, but yeah, fourth liner. If I have to use him, I will, but that's probably somebody that gets pushed down the depth chart if I can sign somebody. And on that note, look, I should mention here that I did check through the scouting off screen, and everything is still at 20 points all the way through, so I don't have to worry about that. Oh, I should do the budget first.
Yeah, Jeff, I just sent you a message if you just want to check it really quick off on your off screen.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that later.
Yeah.
Sorry, lost the screen there for a second. Okay.
That's right. I should mention as well, we are currently streaming on 3 platforms. We are on twitch.tv/franchise hockey manager, twitch.tv/OOTP developments, as well as streaming on our Steam page, which is, of course, Franchise Hockey Manager 8. So if you have any questions, we are watching all 3 chats right now.
But yeah, I've got we're going to look at the annual budget. So I think I'm gonna be, the wage budget, the cap is at 89,000 or 81 rather than that. So I don't really need to go above that. Yeah, annual finance. So there we go. So I don't really need to go too much above that. I'm gonna leave the wage budget at normal. No transfer budget. That's only for European teams or other leagues that allow player transfers. Player development. Let's see. It's only going to cost me 40 points. So I'm going to bump the development bonus up a little bit. That's going to help with the younger team. And marketing spending also relatively cheap. So put that at the top value too. Improving the quality of the arena is going to be tough. Don't have the money for that yet. And I don't need to be converting any seats either. Ticket price can stay the same, I think. So normal maintenance. Do I want to save more money? No, I think that's. Oh yeah, and the owner has taken a pretty good chunk of probably about half of our profits from last year. Went into the owner's pocket. Yeah, thanks, Mr. Aquilini. Okay, but I think that's good for the annual finances. Now on to free agency.
Actually,
go ahead.
Before you go to free agency, would you consider doing some buyouts? Now you are currently sitting at 37 of 50 contracts, but you have a lot of 1-star guys and 1-star current ability and potential who you currently have signed. And I'm thinking we could probably use some more depth guys.
Those guys are just going to be in Abbotsford, though. They're not going to be costing us anything. Like Hamonic is, 1.8. What would it cost me to buy him out?
You say Hamonic for Hamonic? Did I hear that correctly?
And Shen. I mean, actually, I'm going to leave those guys as they are. They're not really hurting anything.
I was looking
we're
more
not going to be close on the cap.
Yeah, Ashton Saunter.
No, I might as well just have those guys there for depth. I can push them down. Oh, actually, I know what I was going to do. We really need an ECHL affiliate, don't we? Because we don't have one at the moment. An official one, at least. So let's... I think I've got this in Commissioner mode. I do. So let's switch one of the Western ECHL teams. Doesn't have an NHL team at the moment. And they pretty much all do. Is there anybody who...
Nope.
There are no unaffiliated ECHL teams?
Nope, not currently.
21, 27. Shoot, okay. Well...
Are you going to expand the ECHL?
I'm going to take a look at the SPHL. There we go, the Birmingham Bulls. Legendary hockey name, and... Oh, I don't think it's going to let me do that now that I think about it. Yeah, that's right. It has to have there's a setting that has to be set up for the league to do that, so I can't change that. So I'm going to be stuck with no second level farm team again.
Or we expand the ECHL and show off how to expand. So to do that, you first off need to go to the ECHL league.
Yeah.
And then, this is for anyone watching and wondering about expansion, then you need to go down and be in commissioner mode and go down to your league edit button. Once you're in there, you can go over to the structure and add a team.
And where should we put this team? By default, it's giving me San Jose.
I was going to say put a mountain team, put an import historical team,
No.
and put in put in the California Golden Seals.
Actually, there was some talk of this a few years ago of them getting I think it was an ECHL team, Thunder Bay.
Now that was an AHL team because they were talking about the Jets possibly putting their affiliate there.
Okay, but I mean, ECHL makes sense for Thunder Bay. And the game called them the Bearcats, so that's good enough for me.
I'm pretty sure they did have a team at one point. Or am I thinking of... No, maybe that was baseball. Yeah, I think that was baseball. They had a team. So yeah, after you team, you need to make sure you generate a new schedule for the ECHL.
Which I did.
I know. I'm just telling people, and if they're watching it and trying to do this themselves, so you can add it, put it in.
And then I go to the Canucks team, and I can see under Farm Team 2, I now have the option of selecting the Thunder Bay Bearcats. So the extra players that I want to sign, and this want to send one of those guys down, like Sautner, I've got the option of sending them to the ECHL. So actually, I am going to.
Okay. The only reason I was suggesting this was because I was taking a look at potentially some younger free agents you could take a gamble on to see if they turn out. There was two names that popped up immediately.
And I do have. Should mention I've got a couple of guys. I've already made a couple of offers to younger players that we already own the rights to, Kosmar and Yermo. Which guys were you looking at, Adam?
Well, the first guy I saw was a player by the name of Alex Cotton.
That's the obvious one. He's a
defenseman who can play both sides.
We only have him scouted, but they didn't offer him a contract. Played overage this year for Lethbridge,
and he had a pretty good year in this game. He had 54 points in 64 games.
And we do have him scouted. Keep in mind that D at the end there means he's relatively unlikely to hit that 4-star potential. But this is saying we've got 2 stars already, so I'm going to make him an offer at least.
Yeah, the other player,
and he's basically asking for a standard entry-level contract. So okay, that's fine. And the other guy?
Well, there was one Grant Hebert, who is a 6'4" centerman, who is 1-star ability, 2.5-star potential. We scouted A to a C.
No, I'm not going to bother with a 2.5-star potential guy. I think anybody
okay,
would like that at least 3 stars.
Okay, well, here's a 3-star guy then. Who's the other one? Was Brandon Coe.
COE?
Yep. 20 years old, 1.5-star talent, 3-star potential. He scouted A to a C.
Position?
He is a right wing / center, played for North Bay Battalion last year, had 64 points in 66 games.
Okay, so yeah, San Jose draft pick didn't get signed. Played a little bit in the AHL during the COVID year, but because the OHL was completely shut down.
Okay, if you want to take one more swing on a guy, it's a forward.
There's Lucas Svikovsky, who's I think
that was name
Yaroslav Svikovsky, Yogi Svikovsky's son. And he's relatively local from Blaine in Washington, where the border crossing is. So, I think go with a local guy instead.
I don't think you don't have a lot of prospects right now.
Yeah, that's the terrifying thing as a Canucks fan, just how bad the prospects list are.
Which is why I was...
Look at the prospect rankings, system rankings, 31 out of 32. Only Pittsburgh is worse than us. I think we started this at 32nd, so I managed to get up 1 spot at least.
That's why I was suggesting adding a few of these guys.
Okay. We do need to sign a legitimate backup goalie, AHL goalie, because I think we're going to use DiPietro as the backup. Couple of Russians, but we haven't really had a look at them. Uh, Best guys we've actually got good scouting on. Pavel Francouz, who's 32 years old. Anton Forsberg's 29. And then it gets down to the 1.5 stars. Anybody with potential?
You could
Again,
sign your draft pick too.
Thiessen, I already tried. He's wants to stay in college this year.
Okay.
We do have Evan Cormier. Jets cast off. Or two guys named Evan Cormier and Evan Fitzpatrick. There's
Interesting.
Ryan Bednard, who's bounced around to ECHL. Don't know if I trust that rating. I'm wondering.
Anton Forsberg is down that list a bit.
Yep. The other guy I'm wondering, I'd see showing 2 stars, 2.5 for him. I was going to say Lettinen, but looking at the top of the list, maybe I gamble on one of the Swedish guys instead.
Jesper
Eliasson, another guy the Wings didn't sign, who's kind of bounced around, looks like. Played a little bit in Austria.
Eric Comrie didn't sign yet either, so there's another.
How's Comrie rated?
2-star.
One and a half, 2-star, yeah. Nah, I think pass. I think I'll take a chance on Eliasson. Sign him, and I'll keep an eye on the waiver wire, and if I can grab somebody then, maybe give DiPietro one more year in the AHL as the starter. What's he? Yeah, Eliasson wants minimum entry level, so that's not a problem. And I can bump one of the other goalie I've got is Silovs, Latvian? Yeah, Latvian. Who only got into one game last year. He'll probably be the backup in Manitoba, Abbotsford. Wait, where did I
say Manitoba? Definitely not.
He played one game in Manitoba. I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, he didn't play at all last year. He was sitting on the bench the whole time. And okay, now actual free agents, we're sitting like only 64 million. So I do have money to spend here. We need.
Did you want to bring Nick Leddy back?
Yeah, for what he wanted.
He's at 5.25 right now
for 3 years, and that's I just got rid of a bunch of dead money on defense with Myers and Ekman Larson, so I'm not really sure I want to do that again. I mean, he is the best guy out there, but
you'd rather have somebody on a shorter deal
or younger. I mean, let me just switch it down, defenseman.
Man,
the next guy on the list, Tony DeAngelo. Do we really want to deal with that?
Okay, here's one: Hampus Lindholm.
Yeah, that's another one I was looking at when we were offline.
3.55 for 3 years.
He's only 28. He's maybe a little underrated. Solid defensively, though. So good.
You could bring back Jake Virtanen too if you wanted.
Yeah, again, that's going to be a pass. Fans would love that. But how much? What was Lind? Okay, Lindholm's asking 3.5 over 3 years. It's maybe a little bit overpaying him, but I'm going to take it down a couple $100,000 each year. No, he doesn't quite want that. Okay, 3.38 for 3 years. That's one, and I think we've got to try and sign at least one forward here. Lehkonen is the only 3.5-star guy on the board. But, I mean...
Foligno would be a that ad. Foligno had 52 points in 78 games last year.
Not seeing him. Joe Foligno?
No, Foligno. Foligno.
Oh, like
Marcus Foligno.
Marcus Foligno. I thought you said Foligno. All right. Yeah. Problem is he's 30. I mean, good character guy. So
Vancouver loves their character guys.
mm. But I mean, what else out there? Niederreiter
There's not
peaked to
much. This
50,
is
and
a
he's not going to go up from there. Delorier, not really interested. Cedric
good jump.
Paquette, who had a good year in Montreal, well, decent year in Montreal. Nick Shore is
You want
coming
Nate
back.
Thompson?
Yeah.
Alex Galchenyuk.
Ah, where am I not? Oh, he's only 2.5 stars. I mean, can contribute offensively,
Guy who's never really taken that next step.
bring back Brendan Gaunce is another option. It was Canucks draft pick, and finally had to play a few
Matthew
years.
Perreault.
And of course, you want the Jet.
Not a Jet anymore.
Well, was the Jet, former Jet.
Oh, yes, that's true.
I mean, out of all of these guys, I think Galchenyuk is kind of the one that's jumping out of me. Brassard's 34.
I still think Foligno's the best choice here, but that's up to you.
Wonder what he wants. Och, 4.4 over 3 years. Kind of high-ish.
I'll give you that, yes.
What's his leadership rating? Yeah, 16 would be not bad to have in the room. What does Galchenyuk want? 3.3 over 3.
That's a lot for him.
Yeah, the way he's rated.
Okay, wait, hold on. Did we somehow just missed Andre Palat here?
Nope. He's there. I
Two,
mean,
5.6.
for 2
I think
years.
that's reasonable.
Hmm.
You're out of that contract, tradable after a year. Was a point every other game player.
Yeah, but he did that on Tampa. He had a really good supporting cast there. I mean,
Yeah, well, he's got some guys on Vancouver who can score with him too. If he gets that chemistry going.
I don't know. That just feels like the kind of free agent signing the Canucks have done a lot of. Older guy, expensive, and it does never really works out for us.
Fine, then my vote goes for Nico Sturm.
I'm just gonna see what Lehkonen wants. Lehkonen, 4.3 for 3 years. Nico Sturm. Wow, 890,000 for 2 years. I mean, I hate to do it just on price, but wow, that's super cheap. In fact, I'm going to go a little bit higher because I think I can get him. And we can maybe trade for a contract, or I mean, the fans aren't to be thrilled with this, as if that's our only free agent signings, but no, that's too good of a deal to pass up, I think. And doesn't really paint us into a corner the way Jim Benning tended to do. Anything else I need to do today?
Not if you're not going to buy someone out.
No, I'm going to leave it.
So we made an offer on defenseman, offer on forward. Got a couple more young guys hoping to sign.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good for right now.
And just take one last look and see if there's anybody on any of these red guys that I might want to sign. No, the KHL guys aren't going to be able to. Connor Lockhart. Is this his overage year? No, no, he's got that a while before he gets there, and he's only half a star, so I'm not going to put him on a contract yet. Malone's probably going to want to play. Forsell had a terrible year in Sweden. I'm going to give him another year over there. Yeah, I think those two that I made offers to are the only ones that Kosmar and Euro.
Well, look at your top prospects. Is there anyone really of interest there? I mean, yeah, Jackson Kuntz is about the only other one, huh?
Yeah, and he's in college for another couple of years. I don't think he's going to. I could see if he wants to sign, but I doubt it. Oh, he does. He will sign. I think that's worth bringing him out early.
Do you really have that much otherwise organizational depth? My answer would be kind of no. So
Leave him one more year in North Dakota because we can get him next year. We've got his rights for a couple more years after that at least. And I was going to look at league transactions screen and just to see who's on the trading block. Phil Kessel is still on the trading block.
eating hot dogs the whole time. Red Flyer says, "Good evening, good evening, Red Flyers. Thanks for coming out."
Only got a year left in his contract. Let's see, Athanasius. The only other
You're making an offer for Phil Kessel?
No, I'm not making an offer for Kevin.
I like this. You wanted
Ryan,
a scoring forward.
San Jose trying to move Ryan Merkley, who was good for us in our game last year, wasn't he?
He was. He got. I skipped ahead one day. Do you want to know what he got moved for?
What did he get moved for?
Hold on, I got to go back to it. He got traded to Ottawa, and it was Merkley and Pickles for Victor Loden, a center who's 1.5 star potential, and Andreas Englund, who's a defenseman with 1.5 star potential.
Let's see if I just throw them like a 6th-round pick. Will they go for that? And advance the game too. So we'll see what happens. Actual Canucks didn't have a great week last week. Lost 3 in a row, but I think we're still 10-3-1, I think, under Boudreau. So we're sitting right at 500. There's going to be a lot of movement going on in the league here, around the league here, so it's going to take a minute or two to get off the screen. And then the next thing we've got to deal with is the draft.
You make it sound like it's such a chore. And then the next thing is the draft.
Okay, got a whole bunch of stuff going on here. A lot of national team job offers, which I don't think I'll be taking. Okay, Eliason's okay with that offer. Kostmar, yes. Cotton. And we won't get any answers on this until the 7th. I think it's the 7th, isn't it? Yeah, it's a week after the first draft. Kessel, trade rumor for Phil Kessel. Let's see, a few other deals. Ottawa and Washington for Cole Reinhardt.
I miss that. Red Flyers in the chat said, "Gotta let that prospect marinate."
Yep. The Oilers get Jake Bean out of Columbus for Derek Ryan and a 5th-rounder. Pretty good deal for the Oilers. And Devin Taves headed to LA for Athanasiu. And Josh Manson to Tampa for Ross Colton and a couple other things in there.
Couple throw-in pieces.
see, any interesting national teams? Should I take a national team job?
Well, Finland's the first one who immediately pops up the list.
No, maybe somebody a little further down.
You know what? Germany would be good just because you are trying to sign Nico Sturm.
I won't actually get to use him for in the NHL, and it's not an Olympic year, so
Maybe a good reason to say no at this time.
yeah, nobody I really want to try running any of the. Yeah, no, I think.
The Flyers, we discussed this earlier, and yes, Edmonton somehow actually won the Stanley Cup because, I don't know, I guess they didn't play terrible.
Okay, so that gets us to the second. Don't think we got any other movement yet.
Huh. Bradley Smith is available too as a free agent.
Any big signings yet? Oh no, there won't be until a little later. We changed that this year. There's a oh, what needs a response? Or was there a Hall of Fame vote I missed?
I'm not sure.
Do it this way then.
Delete all messages.
Yep. And continue on. Really hoping we get Hughes back by, and maybe not even training camp, but at least by the start of the regular season. Yeah, I think McDavid got the Smythe.
It was probably Evander Kane really lit an energy in the room.
Evander Kane's still in San Jose in this one.
It was a joke, Jeff. And a few guys are actually signing, some of the guys you put in offers to.
A couple of guys released. Alex Goligoski, who we don't want because he's 36, apparently about to sign somewhere.
All right.
Okay, so we got our first signing. Yermio, one of the young guys we wanted to sign, is going to come over. No, you're not getting number 7. You can have number 57.
Why can't he have number 7?
I'm sure we'll have somebody better to wear 7. I would hope. And then we're going to start thinking about the draft next. I would say go for a defenseman, just because that's kind of I think we're a little weaker there right now. But
what happens if you win the lottery? You gonna just take a defenseman just because?
Did you miss the part where I'm playing as the Canucks here? Win the lottery? Yeah, that's not happening.
He says it until it happens, and then it's crazy. Look what happened.
Okay, so Costmar, the other young signing, and San Jose says no way for the Ryan Merkley deal. I'm going to wait until, is today draft day?
You should have
tomorrow's
no
draft
draft
day.
lottery. Draft
Yeah,
lottery
I'm
today.
gonna see if I'll make that offer tomorrow because I don't want to get caught having to wait for the offer and having go beyond the draft. Okay, draft lottery. Picking it, and this is where we should theoretically be picking number 7 if the odds pan out. So number 16 should the Seattle Kraken, are they going to move up? Nope, Seattle doesn't move up. Philadelphia next. They're not moving up. Washington. Nope. New Jersey at 13. No move there. Arizona at 12. Good for us so far. St. Louis at 11. Okay, now on to Buffalo. These are the teams who can actually move up to the top spot. Buffalo doesn't move. Columbus at 9. Ottawa at 8. Nope, not moving. Okay, so I know this is inevitably going to be us. There's no way we get a higher pick out of this. Yep, we get 7th. Detroit 6th. This is completely going to form so far. No upsets. Islanders 5th. Ducks probably with the number 4. Yep. So it's going to be one of Calgary, Arizona, or San Jose for the number 1, and presumably Shane Wright. Oh, Arizona goes down, so San Jose is moving up either 1 pick or 2. Calgary gets the 2nd pick, and the Sharks get number 1 overall. So why didn't this happen to us last year when we were playing as the Sharks? So Shane Wright to San Jose, and maybe Savoy to Calgary. It's not great, all of these Western teams drafting in the top 7. We're going to have to deal with those guys, but we are on draft day tomorrow.
I know who you think we should, or I've simmed down to the draft and even simmed up to the pick.
Who did you get?
Although I fell one spot.
Nemec,
no, there's still.
Czech kid?
Well, he's sitting there. Brad Lambert's there. And, my guy is sitting there too, Jeff, who wants to be drafted by the Canucks.
First thing first, let's go back to the trading block. Oh, wait, we got the offer right there. Will the Sharks take that 5th rounder we got from Boston instead?
Is this Jeff and Adam? M Polite 12 in the chat asks. I guess so. Yes, this is Jeff and Adam.
The offer is not interesting and it has no basis for negotiation. So yeah, they're not going to give up.
Thanks for coming.
Directly for just a draft pick, so I'm not going to bother pursuing that any further. Anybody else on the trading block that we might want to look at? Oh, actually, that's filled up. Oh, ooh, Chicago looking at Patrick Kane potentially. Any really young defenseman?
Ivan Provorov.
Yeah. But would I want to give up the number 1 overall or the number 1 first rounder for him?
Let's see what they have. No real weaknesses. Huh.
And he's making 6.7 a year for 3 years. I'm going to wait and see who's available at that pick, and then we'll decide whether or not we want to move it. Sound good?
If you want.
Okay, so drafting first overall, San Jose, presumably Shane Wright. Yep. And Calgary, will they go from Roshtchenko or Savoy? They go for Savoy. So the top 2 centers both go to Western teams.
Jeff?
Yeah?
Just messing around. Provorov, 4. Vancouver's 2nd round pick. Along with the rights to Nikita Triumkin. Tramkin, the rights to Matthew Thiessen, and the rights to Dmitry Zoliev.
Okay, let me just get up to the pick and see what we're dealing with here.
This doesn't even affect the first round pick.
Yep, but I want to see what I get. Miroshnichenko the third with the third to Arizona.
You're gonna take my boy Connor.
Logan Cooley going number 4 to Anaheim, and I think this is before I had I actually boosted Cooley's ratings a little bit because he's moving up on the real life draft rankings. But I think this is even before that, so a bit of an upset that Anaheim took him there. Denton Matichuk out of Moose Jaw. That's a bit of a surprise at number 5 for the Islanders. And Rutger McGroarty to Detroit from Notre Dame. So what we're looking at here, Brad Lambert, who was very highly rated going into the season and going into this year, but he slipped down the draft lists a little bit.
That's 6-5. Playing for the Winnipeg Ice. Connor Geeky.
Connor Geeky, but only 3.5 star potential.
In our chat,
Simon Nemec.
M. Polite says, draft Camo, he always pans out.
Yeah, that's another tempting one. But I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards Lambert.
Do we really need the center help?
We need the scoring help, and he can play the wing too. Yurov, I don't want to deal with.
Drafted
trying to get him.
Before. I think it was back in our Quebec series.
Yeah. If I sort by potential, we've also got Nemestikov. He's coming off a good year in Sarnia. But okay, well, it's actually scout suggestions. The scout's recommendation is take Nemestikov, and then Quinn Finley, who's been another guy that's moved up in their life this year.
Safe suggestion is
Lambert.
Brad Lambert. Risky suggestion is Nemestikov.
So yeah, that's basically that's what it boils down to. It's other good thing is Lambert speaks. His dad is Canadian, so obviously he speaks English. So that's going to be less of an adjustment for him.
Well, so does Nemestikov.
Oh right, yeah, he's Yevgeny. Is he? No. No, is he Yevgeny?
He's Russian American. He's not listed as such.
Might be wrong. I can't remember.
The one thing I will say against Nemestikov is he's only 5'9".
Scouting reports.
Polite 12 is keep saying Camel is a good scorer.
Yeah, I'm not really liking the stuff I'm seeing on personality in the Nemestikov scouting report. Camel is way down our scouts list. Oh, there's something I don't want to see. He's being compared to Brandon Sutter.
Actually, that last line kills me. Of personality, the last line of personality.
Yeah, and Lambert. What?
He isn't dumb, but he may be a little slow to catch on. Which tells me he'll take a long time to adjust to tactics.
Other thing we could do with Lambert is bring him over and send him down to Saskatoon.
Okay, just pick Lambert. Make it simple. Pick Lambert.
Mind you, Nemestikov's already in. Lambert's physical tools are a little better. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go with Lambert. Now, what was the trade you were talking about?
The trade. So you can trade for Ivan Provorov, who's on the trade block. from Philadelphia.
For my second rounder,
For your second rounder and the rights to 3 guys.
one of
Red
whom I
Flyers
remember
is
is
going
Triamkin.
Chemerican,
Uh,
Thiessen, and Zodalev.
Sladev.
Zoldev. Now, Red Flyers, are you unhappy with that as a Philly fan, or why are you so down on that?
Yeah, I want to hear what Nick has to. Why he's not enthusiastic about this before I do it.
He's still on contract for 3 years, so I don't mind that.
It's 6.7 for 3 years. I mean, it's not like he's Ekman Larson where he wasn't producing at all leading up into that.
The only disappointing part of this is we don't have a pick yet until round 3 after that, but you know what? That's okay.
What if I offered him the third round pick instead?
You can try and tell you the second round picks works. That's
Yep, they're okay with it. So, Triamkin, Zladev, Thiessen, and the third rounder for Provorov.
Well, you're lucky.
Okay, we're going to do that. So the fans should be reasonably happy with that. That shores up our D. Okay, back to the draft. And I will just run through the first round. Actually, we do have the second round picks, so I'm going to just pick until human. And then we can go back and look at it. Arizona gets the other Jack Hughes.
Pick what? Pick 39?
Yeah. Nemestikov, who we were looking at, went then the very next pick overall to Ottawa. Who is the... Camo ends up going all the way down to 21st for Pittsburgh. So that probably would have looked bad if we grabbed them there. Jets get Ty Nelson from North Bay at 29. Okay, so back up to our second rounder.
Well, this seems like it's probably an obvious suggestion.
What's that?
Oh, wait. It's the scout suggestion? Or...
Scout wants Eric Allery from Moose Jaw. 3.5-star potential, pretty well balanced. Kind of looking for a defenseman here, although Dahaniak out of Prince George is apparently the best option. He's only 3-star potential. We've still got a couple of guys who are 3.5 stars on the board. Safest suggestion is only a 2.5-star guy. I'm not going to go for him. Dumais out of Halifax.
Yeah, the name I have, and I don't know if he's already gone, he's only a 3-star defenseman, is Mats Lindgren. Played for Kamloops.
Went at 30 to the Rangers. So first rounder there. Probably would have been a good pick if he was available, but no.
What about Simon Forsmark, who we have previously drafted before in another game?
Forsmark. How many? Oh, there he is. 3 stars. Where did the scouts have him? Scout says 8th overall in a group of 3.5-star guys. And any defenseman in the risky list at 3.5 stars? None. It's all forwards. And we did just get Provorov.
The first, actually, I see one way down. Yeah, sorry, but yeah, he's 3 stars.
I mean, if I go for a defenseman, I think it's gonna be Dahaniak. Scouting report. Yeah, nothing spectacular. Braden Panzer. That's a great name.
Yeah.
Allery is 19. Oh, yeah, a couple of those guys at the top of the scouting list are a year older. No interest there. Sergei Ivanov is the top goalie on the list, Russian, but no better than DiPietro or Demko's potential, so I won't bother with that. I'm going to go with Dahaniak.
No, but you did lose your goalie in that trade, so you might want to pick up one at some point.
Yeah, I could do that. I wasn't going to sign him anyhow, so it doesn't matter if we get somebody in the draft here.
Okay, just because he's there and his name is us, or is he? Maybe not. Oh wait, you're looking at skid suggestions.
Yeah, no, I
Is
think
Senna Peters? He's he is overage playing for Halifax.
yeah, no, I'm not going
But
to take an overage guy. I'm going to go with Dahaniak with the second rounder.
how can you do that when you have such a thing as this? He is more valuable than forward Michael Furland.
Is that who? Oh no, he's no. This one says he's gonna be as good as Nick Leddy. So I'm gonna go with Dahaniak. And on to the third round. Or no,
Which
we
you don't
traded
have a
that
pick
away.
for. Yeah.
So this is now into the fourth round. And I think we're just looking best player overall here. Scout says Zam Plant. Here's a name. Minnesota Duluth, played in Chicago, the USHL last year. It's the best, but he's only 2.5 stars. There's got to be somebody better than that. Alexander Suzdalev, half Swedish, half Russian. That's interesting.
Still some talent in the fourth round. Yeah, there is.
Oh, 3.5 star guy left, theoretically. Ty Mueller at Nebraska Omaha. Although if he's 19, he's still only showing half a star. I don't think that's going to... Well, it's rated a C for...
You got another defenseman there you could probably grab? There's got to be another defenseman.
No, it's a weak draft for defensemen.
So M.
Jace Weir at a Red
Politz
Deer.
says ability better than potential. For a draft, you're kind of looking for guys who have higher potential, unless you're in need of immediate players.
You see, if I sort by potential, all I'm getting here almost entirely is overage guys. So...
which are not bad guys to take in the 6th or 7th round, despite what Jeff thinks.
I think I'm going to go with...
Or even the 5th rounds.
I'm going to go with Suzdalev, the Swedish Russian. Actually, I should take a closer look at the scouting report first.
Okay, if this guy's still there, he's overage, but you have to draft him because his name is Mikhail Gut.
Okay, gonna go with Suzdalev there. It's another 5th round pick. And potentially a Swedish goal or Finnish goalie. Yeah, Scout says Topias Lainanen. Who
Just
I think
looking here.
doesn't have a team at the
There is-
moment, so I think he may be somebody we can get into the... if he gets drafted in the CHL.
This-
Or actually, oh no, that's not a different guy. I was going to say I recognize that name, but it's somebody else. What were you going to say?
No, I was just looking at other names. There was one American goalie, but he's overage playing in the OHL.
Yeah, there's risky suggestions here. It's giving me Marco Kasper, Austrian. That 3-star. No, I'm going to go with Leinonen because he's still relatively young. And
Okay,
we're not going to. We don't need the goalie right away.
under your safe suggestions, do you see a player from Prince George who is Swiss?
Reichlich, yeah.
How do you say that name? That full name?
Liekit. Looks like he's half Thai.
Yeah, Yeah, you
Reichley.
got to draft that guy. Come on. Look at that
Yeah,
name.
he's playing. He's 19 now.
Yeah, well, you drafted another guy who's
Nope. I'm
19.
gonna go with Leiden and the goalie. Go
He's
with the scout
early
suggestion.
birthday, January 23rd. That's why.
But Reichley is still available when I get around to the next fifth round pick, so I will take him then.
Perfect. Because that name is so awesome.
And I think I need to grab another defenseman here in the sixth.
Pierre Olivier Roy. If he's still there. Nope, he's gone. In mine.
Okay, best defenseman according to the scout is John Dalton in Sarnia. Any other?
Okay, time for a risky selection here, Jeff. Is Sword still there? Graham Sword.
Don't see anywhere on the risky list.
He was on both my safe and risky list. So he could be gone.
I think I'm going to go with the OHL guy, Dalton. And one more pick left.
Okay.
Seventh rounder. Oh, look who showed up on. Have a look at the screen. Our scout selection.
I'm trying to wait for it to. Liam Arnsby.
Good
Oh,
old
man.
Liam Arnsby. I
You
gotta
know,
take him.
another guy. Well, he was a superstar for us in Quebec.
Yeah, again, he wasn't quite as good with San Jose, but I think he still worked out pretty well. And I know I did downrate him a little bit just deliberately because we had him a little bit overrated, but just out of tradition's sake, we got to take Armsby.
Yeah, I was gonna say Peter Reynolds was still on my list here in the fifth round. Who would have been an interesting pick.
Okay, so that is the draft. Draft is complete. And we don't get mentioned as either among the best or the worst drafts. I think we should get bonus points for getting that Provorov trade done. And just going to continue a little bit. Oh, we're actually coming up on the hour here, so I'm going to wrap this up, and I will probably advance this at least somewhere into
We got to
the
advance a couple of days
exhibition
to see if
season.
we get some of those free agents.
Yeah, see how the signings work out. So we'll go through that.
And are you going to put anybody under contract?
Potential for the draft picks. Try and get Lambert and whoever. I think Saskatoon had him. Was it?
I'm not sure off the top of my head.
And play him in a WHL next year. Just waiting on those signings to come up.
So our rebuilt D looks pretty good, especially if Hampus Lindholm signs.
Okay, what do we got? Eliasson does sign with us. And oh wow, he's showing up as 4 stars. Potential.
Nice.
We got Sturm, we got Cotton, we did get Lindholm. That's Svikovsky. Still waiting to hear. Right, okay, no, Provorov's not wearing number 9. Oh, well, we got no defenseman numbers to give to him. You have number 90. And no, you can't have 37. That's Rippon's number.
Yeah, he absolutely cannot.
And jeez, what is it with these guys? Cotton asked for Luc Bourdon's number. And coming up next year, that's the 2023 draft, Connor Bedard, likely number 1.
It would be rather shocking if he wasn't.
And let me just check our free agents to see if we've got any outstanding offers. Who was it? Oh, no, it was Sturm was the guy we were trying to sign. That's right. So we
And he did.
Lehkonen goes to Arizona. Riley Smith to Buffalo.
We do have some other guys who do need to get signed too or in their last year of their
Oh,
deals.
Ryan Carpenter got 5 point. What's Anaheim doing? They spent $5.6 million on Ryan Carpenter for 3 years. 5.6 million a year for 3 years. Tony DeAngelo winds up in Buffalo. Goligoski to Anaheim. Will Butcher goes back to Buffalo relatively cheaply. And yeah, Foligno's still on the board. How much money have we got? Oh, we're at 74 million. What do you think? Try for Foligno? And go a little lower since he apparently didn't get any offers.
Build your lines here for a quick second.
Okay, let me take Gilden out and Wu out. Lindholm and Provorov go in. Whoops. Well, it's Monic dressed. Okay, Provorov. I'm going to go out, Sturm in.
So it's looking like either kind of Phil Giuseppe or Lamico gets out.
I actually wound up putting Zavgorodny in. Wound up on the fourth line. If we could sign Foligno, he'd be the third line right wing, which is only Tyler Mott right now. So it's not like we're going to be losing a spot for anybody important. I think I'm going to go for
I was just wondering if there's somebody else better we could find for that one. Who might be cheaper.
Well, he may be willing to come down too if he's still 4.4 for 3 years. There's still Palat too. 5 for. Let's just advance this a little bit and give it a week or so and see if any of these guys are still looking at that point.
All right, sounds good.
I'm going to go
with that,
to see it. Yeah.
I think we're probably good here to start doing a wrap-up, Jeff.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so thank you very much for tuning into another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. We typically stream every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Franchise Hockey Manager, as well as twitch.tv/OOTP Developments. All of our streams are archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments as well. Of course, you can reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Franchise Hockey Manager. On Twitter, we're at Franchise Hockey. We can find a link to our official Discord in our Twitter bio as well. Or you can come on down to our website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button in the top right-hand corner, which will bring you to official forums. And you can come talk about Franchise Hockey Manager, Out of the Park Baseball, Perfect Team, Out of the Park Go, or anything else you wish to discuss. Jeff, did I miss anything?
Nope. Just waiting to get us a few days forward. Let's just see how this turns out. And see if anybody is going to sign those guys. I think we're on a Friday right now. If we don't get around to doesn't stop by Monday, I'll stop it manually.
Wow, you need to offer Höglander a deal right now if he's willing to sign.
Oh, he was willing to do it cheaply?
2.86 for 5 years.
Oh, wow. Nice. Okay, so yeah, we will be doing that if he's willing to do that for that length of time.
Horvat wants 4.75 for 3 years.
That's reasonable.
Yes. So yeah, that would be huge to get those guys under contract for not a lot.
Okay, so I think what I may wind up doing is finish up the off-season offline and get us into training camp. Still undecided if there's somebody they're at Monday. If there's a decent free agent available by, let's say, July 20th or so, late July, somebody like Foligno's still out there, or Palat, make a cheaper offer on him and try to get that. Wow, Chicago's really trying to sign, really trying to move Kane. And looks like Ottawa wants to sign Palat, so that may not be happening for us. Wait, before I don't want to forget that Hoglander. You say you asked for 4 years and years?
5 years at 2.86.
He's saying 4 to me, but I will make it 5, and I'll bump up the last couple of years of the contract slightly. Nope, he's saying 4 years only. Okay, well, we'll go with that.
That's still a good deal for you.
Yep. And one last thing to check, any interesting free agent signing? Yeah, Palat just signed with Buffalo. They gave him 4.8 million. Foligno is still out there, though.
All right. Well,
Okay.
we will see you all again next week with our Winnipeg Jets 1990 game.
Yep. Thanks, everybody, for coming out, and we'll see you a week from now.